Okie dokie, artichokey. Here's the plan. I am going to try to make a knifey boy doodad whatchamacallit using only the highest quality tree jerky and adding a custom little flare. So let's go doodle. Forgot my pads outside. Here's actually a design I did last night. I'm happy with the handle. I am not too fond of the blade yet, but I'm debating between these two. I think. Or maybe this one. Or something like this. But that's kind of like this. I don't know. Until I can decide, I'm going to go back, make another handle, cut it out, make a stencil out of it. I'm going to keep this though. This will be my reference material. The original plan was to use this for the blade, which I'm still gonna do, and a 2x6 for the handle and the guard, but I only have 2x4s. I'm just gonna use a 1x1, which is actually the perfect size for the handle, and then these scrap pieces of wood for the guard, and I'll glue it together. Got the blade here. The shape outside is pretty much done. It's got a route in the middle out. Same with this guy. This is kind of a janky way of doing it, but the jigsaw blade I've got is dull, so whatever, it works, I guess. Drill some holes, and then it'll make this guy's job easier. Alrighty, that kind of worked. It's not perfect, but neither am I, so. Yay! Now I'm just gonna sand the insides to make it nice and smooth. Oh, it's like, We are getting there. Just gonna hit these spots I couldn't get with my Dremel. And then, yeah. Hey, this is coming along. And I almost like the kind of rugged look of the middle on the inside. But hey, this is pretty fun. It's dark outside, but I'm gonna keep plugging away. Here's where we currently stand. It's not half bad. This is 240 grit. I'm gonna now start working through up to the higher grits to refine that shape and shine. Ooh, pretty happy with that. Now that was only 800 grit sandpaper, a belt. I would continue, but it's getting dark out and the light is kind of crap right now. So we'll come back tomorrow and do 1,000 and then 15, 2,000 and 3,000. Or maybe we'll just coat it in poly or epoxy. I haven't decided yet. It's a new day. Oh. Back to work. Here it is so far. Before I continue with this, I totally neglected the handle. So I need to finish that first, and then I'll finish the blade. I messed up. So what I forgot to do was drill a hole in the middle. Use that as my guide so I don't over sand it and make it too thin like this is. Plus this looks like crap anyway, so I'm gonna redo it. Instead of doing these grooves first, I'm gonna sand this down and then do the grooves and then round it, I guess. I don't know. Oakley dokley. I don't know what I'm doing. That's a bit better. Now instead of doing any more on the belt sander, I'm just going to use regular old sandpaper to finalize the shape and to sand the blade down. And that'll make the epoxy on the inside nice and shiny. And then I'll polish it and stick everything together, I guess. I don't have a lathe, but what I do have, a drill and a bolt and some hot glue. So the handle is now done-ish. Hole's not center, I know, but I suck, so oh well. I'll sand it until it's roughly there. That's not terrible. And then get the thicknesses right. It's not that bad. Just gotta drill a hole through the middle and then finish the blade. I'm gonna finish the blade first. Chop this end off and then adjust the fit in between there. 3,000, 2,000, 15. Oh, that's an extra 15. And 1,000. You could totally cut yourself on this. That looks pretty cool. Last one. And then the blade will be all nice and sanded. All that's left now is to add the guard and the handle and then polish the thing. So I redid it. There are a few little scuffs and dings. And now it's clear. There's no little dings on the inside. So one of the things I was kind of concerned about was this being too thick, which it is. So I'm gonna mark where it should sit, and then I'll sand just the end, and then I'll polish it up again. So it fits, but there's that edge on it. So I got a few options. I could leave it and sand it. I could redo the entire blade, or I could just sand it so this edge is smooth, and then it goes skinny, and then a bit wider, and then back down. I think I'm gonna do that. Now for me, it's probably gonna take another hour or so maybe to finish it off. But for you, it's gonna take that long. The LED hole. This hole is also too small for the battery to fit in, so I'm gonna widen that a bit. Instead of a green LED, I'll be using a white one, because that'll give me more photons and whatnot. Although I still suspect that it's not gonna be enough to light this blade up. Oh, it's way too much. I got this battery connector here, which I rounded the edges on just for a nicer fit in the middle. I got a small cheap little button switch, and then I'll solder everything together. A lot of extra wire. It's okay. Okay, so I made a tail cap with a hole in it to match where the switch goes. Now I'm thinking I'm gonna put the cap in place, and then these edges that are still left on the handle, I can just smooth those down. I don't wanna glue it, because then I won't have access to the switch. So I'm thinking maybe these guys can help. I have no idea if this is gonna work. Oh gosh, way too much. I can kind of see that. Where's my Sharpie cap? Pretty sure I punctured the handle. I did indeed. Oh well. Test fit. There's a gap. Fit's not the greatest in the world. So I'm gonna try and flatten that out. Yes. It's not great by any means, but I'm kind of happy with it. So I bent the top nail a bit, and now it sits nice and snug. That's not gonna fall out. So I think now it's time to seat the blade in the handle and glue it down. I was planning on using this at 5-minute epoxy. Yeah, I'm gonna use actual epoxy. Yes. Whoops. Oh, that's just not the corner. I need something smaller. Okay, we'll leave that there to sit overnight. It's done. Maybe. That's not too bad. She's finished. So I haven't turned it on yet. We'll see what it looks like. All right, here we go. Yeah, I didn't really think you'd be able to see the whole blade. But you know what? I think that still looks pretty nifty anyway. So when I made the stencil, I cut out this little bit. I put it on the handle, and I thought, hey, that looks pretty cool. I made two. Both also light up equally and effectively.